Hey, how's it going, all you lovely people at Doorshutter coming back to you with a brand new episode of the Direwolf20 1.20 mod pack, and today we are just looking at a dungeon. I don't actually know what this is called. This is an infested temple, apparently. I didn't actually look at that achievement until now. Ooh, I didn't even see that one. Goodness. I've been exploring a little bit, as you can see. I really haven't found anything too interesting. This is a lighthouse. It's a very passive structure. Honestly, it's a really good thing if you find one of these, because there's a lot of bone blocks in here, redstone lamps, and quite a bit of dark prismarine, which can actually be ground down into prismarine shards. And I believe these can be, used quite a lot in this pack. Ooh, that looks fancy. So, yeah, you can also break those down further. So one of the things I wanted to test real quick is this mining gadget against a spawner here. And it does actually not work. So the mining gadget is not as good as I was hoping with this, because I figured that it wouldn't work properly, because there's certain things the mining gadget can't do. But let's quickly get back home here. We're just going to do slash home. It's going to become apparent that I'm just going to use slash home more frequently. I mean, we're not in cheats or anything like that, so if it's given to us, we're just going to kind of use it right now. Speed things up, because I realize that it's going to be a very effective tool to make sure that we aren't, wasting too much time. Where is my waystone here? So, oh, they actually added distances. So this actually should be the infested temple. And then back home. Okay. So that's fantastic. I didn't need that. But we have a couple of these from exploring, so that's good. And a lot of coal blocks from exploring. I'm loving Ad Astra meteorites right now. 100%. They are fantastic. Also, we did get another backpack from exploring as well. You can occasionally find these in chests and stuff. They aren't too uncommon, but usually don't find a higher tier than iron in the base loot tables, really. And I think you can disable that as well if you really wanted to, but so let's quickly get sorted here. So we need to get Silk Touch then in this case. So Silk Touch is either done with Ars Nueva or this, which is a Slime Bowl, Lapis Lazuli, and a Book and Quill. And 8 levels it looked like. So let's see here. Do I have... Oop, I accidentally just taken my sword out of my inventory. Do I have... I have a book. Do I have a feather? I might not have a feather, which is kind of funny. Oh, right there, feather. And then I need an ink sac. Alright, so let's get this real quick. This is going to be Book and Quill, that, and I need some more Lapis. Lapis actually does hold in there, so you could just throw a stack in here and it'd be good. Let's do that. Oh, so 13, not 8 levels. That's fine. So we want to, of course, grab a pickaxe. What kind of pickaxe do we want to do? Just diamond again? Diamond. I should have some sticks in here. And then we'll want to just immediately take this, do that. I don't have enough levels for this, do I? Do I have any X petrified or whatever? There we go. Just do a couple of those to get some levels. That, and then we'll just, of course, name this Silk, so we can distinguish. And then let's try and grab that spawner. I just want one spawner. I don't really care what it is 100%, because we can change it in the future. But I would love to see if we can grab this. I think I went up here previously to kind of just mine through the building. But I'm also looking at trying to get XP from this spawner, basically, to then get, what do you call it? To then get the mending enchant on all of the armor and tools and all of that stuff. So let's quickly just slash home here. And of course, this is Apotheosis, is what allows you to Silk Touch spawners, by the way. But first, we're going to quickly just grab a handful of items here. I definitely need to clean this out, but for right now, we're not going to bother with that. We're going to just kind of keep going here. We're going to keep tanking on until I have no room left. So we're going to make a comparator. Some stone. And then, did I put that quartz in here? I did. Not a pumpkin, quartz. There we go. Comparator. There we go. And then we're just going to plop this down in the middle of our base and smack it with the comparator. This will allow for us to, of course, turn this on and off with redstone, which is fantastic. Another thing that we can quickly do here is grab a piece of wool. I know I have a piece of wool in here somewhere. I've been killing sheep to get some mutton. There we go, brown wool. Doesn't really matter what color, it all does the same. This will silence the actual thing. To make the best spawner, you really need a dragon egg, a nether star, and chorus fruit. Chorus fruit, I would say, is probably the most useful thing, because this actually disables the AI of the actual creature, so it can't attack you. It doesn't have path, it doesn't trace any paths or anything like that. It's just basically spawns and just stands still. Or if it's a shulker, it'll just spawn, basically be like a full block, and that's it. It can still, of course, die, but it's just a little bit more interesting, and it's a little bit less on the performance, so that's always a good thing. But if we quickly look here, some other things that we probably want to look at grabbing. Why does that nether star look so funny? Oh, it's because that 1.20 glint, isn't it? I think. But yeah, so spawn count with a fermented spider eye, gas tiers to increase the max entities. Let's see, sugar, prismarine crystals, which is actually something we probably want to look at because we don't have access to nether stars. Clocks, which are max spawn delay. There's min and max spawn delay, spawn range. And then, of course, if you hold quartz in your offhand and then right-click with the actual item that you want to remove, you can do that. You won't get the item back, of course, but, you'll be able to turn off the silent or the redstone controller or whatever. Or if you wanted to make the spawn range less, you could. That's always an option here. So let's also quickly see. So we probably want to grab some clocks here to see if we can minimize this. Also, I do love the fact that this is immediately a wither skeleton spawner. That was not intentional, but let's just right click. Don't shift because it'll not do much. But yeah, you can see how massive the spawn delay is on this. So we're going to need quite a bit of clocks, which means we're going to need quite a bit of gold to actually get this down enough to be reasonable. So let's just grab what we have. I can always go, of course, into the nether with a silk touch on that mining laser, the mining gadget, and actually just get a little bit more. That's already what I did. That's why I have some in here. So we're going to have to do that here in the future. But we're going to also want to grab some sugar. Is there a way to get more sugar from this? The squeezer. Okay, so the squeezer looks like we're going to be using for a little bit. I need to get the basin and everything. I need to just get the powered version of this. It would be significantly better, but for right now, this will do. Alright, so I've got the sugar on here. The min and max spawn delay, by the way, is 20 is the minimum on those values. So we have quite a lot more clocks that are needed to actually get this down to the proper max spawn delay. So what I think we're going to do real quick is we're actually going to get this sorted out here. I want to be able to get the powered variations of these, and it'll become apparent real quick why. Because I think we've mentioned that the gold ore in the nether actually can be ran through a squeezer to get a better outcome on how much gold we actually get per nether gold ore. So if we get this mechanical squeezer here, we'll actually be able to do just a little bit more. But to do this, we're going to need to grab a drying basin. This is the very basic tier of this, which will be just fine here. We probably do need to go grow some of this because I think I used the actual logs for planks that one day. So we'll need to go grow some of these, which is not a problem. But we do need, looks like, logs and some iron. I'll just grab it out of here real quick. And then some black dye. Do I have the ability to crush this or anything down just a little bit to get a little bit more out of it. That doesn't look like it. Okay. And I only need 2, right? Okay. That's fine. I just wanted to make sure. So drying basin, of course, then we'll want to get the mechanical drying basin, which is just significantly better. It's a little bit more automated in that process, but for right now, this is what we've got. So let's go grab... What in the world? The Enderman is having a field day out there. Let's grab some of these bone blocks here real fast. Turn these to bone meal. Let's grab some of these tree saplings, and let's grow one of these. So then we'll just want to cut this down immediately. So that way we can then use the logs to get the resin that we need. Let's get rid of that real quick. There we go. So these can immediately then be thrown into a squeezer. I don't think the squeezer automatically outputs, so we're going to have to look at that, but that's okay. I think we can just grab some sort of fluid pipe, maybe from Cyclic. That might work. I don't know if Cyclic requires nodes any longer, but we'll see. And also these berries are also decent for resin as well, I think. I'm not 100% sure. I think these can do something, right? Mineral torches. Oh, I guess they don't do as much as I thought anymore. Or maybe I'm just losing it. I don't remember. Oh, anyway. Alright, so with that tree cut down, we're going to then throw a log in here, jump on it until it goes all the way down. You can see that there is resin in this basin, or in this squeezer, that we need to get into the basin here. So we need some sort of fluid transportation. So fluid pipe. We do have this, which I think is probably what we'll go for. Even if it's just a little bit expensive, we'll probably use these in the future anyway. So let's just grab 2 buckets, grab fluid pipes, and then we can use the create wrench to actually, wrench this back and forth. So there, and that'll push into here, and then this should over time dry, if I'm not mistaken. There we go. And that'll give us crystallized Merlin, which is this mineral, not Merlin, goodness. And we can, of course, convert those back and forth. So let's put another log in here, and I'll be back here in a second. All right, so we're making 2 energy batteries here. Then we're going to take our current manual squeezer, and then we're going to quickly craft this into the mechanical squeezer here, which requires obsidian. Do I not have... Oh, yes, right there. Perfect. I have a couple pieces. And then a diamond. So it's not too expensive. We'll grab that. And then we're also going to want the mechanical drying basin. We might as well grab this, even if we don't immediately use it. It'll have some uses in the future here. So let's quickly go grab this. And we can actually take out these fluid pipes here as well. And then we should be able to grab a couple more pieces of obsidian here. And that should be our mechanical drying basin. Perfect. Okay, so let's put this... This is actually a coal generator, by the way, from RF Tools. It's a little bit better than the Ad Astra one, so we're using that right now. And if I go... Let's quickly just go pop over to the nether dimension here. Or the nether mining dimension, I should say. And let's find some gold. You can see I've actually come in here and I've taken some of the gold out of here. But let's make sure we're on Silk Touch. Perfect, we are. Let's go find some gold here. Alrighty, so I just went and grabbed a stack and almost a half of this. And we should get, yeah, you can see how much we're getting. That is only 3 pieces so far, 4 pieces. Yeah, that's a lot of gold. This is definitely the way to go. And once we get the digital miner, which is kind of always a really big thing that I go for from Mechanism, getting resources is not going to be difficult. And this is more of like a mid-game than late game, because of course we'll want to look at maybe occultisms, mine shafts, or things like that to probably get better equipment overall. And to smelt this, I think we could... Right, there's not much else we can do with this. So I think, yeah, there's a 33% chance if we put it in a sag mill. Of course, you know, the washing factory could definitely make this better. Mechanisms, machines, the crushing spirits, which are guaranteed to. So I mean, yeah, there's definitely some stuff we could do with, yeah, even this with mechanism and stuff, the double ores. But I don't think we're at that point yet. I would love to be at that point, but we're not there yet. So let's just keep smelting this here. Let's quickly grab the blasting augment for this furnace. We're just going to throw in a stack. I'll throw in the rest in here. And we'll just we'll let this guy run. And hopefully we'll have enough clocks to make this actually pretty decent here. So I'll be back here in a second. All right, so that's done. I think the next thing we really want to look at is potentially getting more spider eyes. This is not going to be a maxed out spawner at the end of the day, currently. I know there's definitely things we can look at to make this better as of current, especially with like getting this dark prismarine. We need to look at crushing this to get the prismarine shards. And then also after that, we then need to break this down more using the mechanical squeezer to then get prismarine crystals. And, or is it, yeah, it's prismarine crystals, right? So to do an activation range so we don't have to be as close. Because right now we need to be within 16 blocks of this. I believe the max is 45, if I'm not mistaken. Let's quickly see if this tells us the max here. 48. So you would need a nether star, I believe, to actually ignore players completely. They don't need to be within a range or anything like that. So yeah, so nether star to ignore players, and that basically makes the activation range infinite, in a sense. So players, you know, don't have to be around it, which is fantastic. And then of course gas tiers and stuff. I always kind of ignore the blaze rods because I don't really care about the spawn range. I usually make a pretty small area. But yeah, we need to get max entities up. We need to get the spawn count up and the activation range up, and we'll do that here real quick. Alrighty, so let's continue with this. I just got the fermented spider eyes on here to do spawn count. That should be decent. The next thing we want to look at is getting this stuff crushed down into prismarine shards. Looks like we really only have one option, which is the crushing macerator. So let's look at grabbing that. That requires compressed cobblestone, 4 of those, copper nuggets, a flint block, and stone cutters. Do I have enough flint for that? I don't even think I do. Gravel. I shall return. Okay, so I actually just put it in the squeezer. That's how it's gonna go. Which is fantastic. I just thought of that. Because that mechanical squeezer is really, really useful. But we're going to need a little bit more. No, we only needed 1, right? So let's look at the stone cutter, which is stone and iron. So we need 2 of this and stone. We might as well grab a handful of cobblestone as well. There we go. So 2 of these bad boys. And then that should be almost everything we need. Where is copper? Right there. Oh. Okay. And then that is the crushing macerator. We're also going to quickly need to grab some energy pipes, which is going to require some redstone and some iron. But we should be okay with that, right? There's only 2 blocks of redstone in this recipe. These are a little expensive, but this way we can get the actual coal generator and this coal generator and put them somewhere else real fast. So let's move this Ender IO machine onto the ground here. Same thing with this. Let's see, there. So that. We can get rid of this machine, push this over 1 compressor, and we can just put the coal generator. We can actually just change out this coal generator for now. And we'll just run some power cables here. And that should be better than what we are doing currently, so we can actually just get more machines powered up. Create wrench. Smack that to make sure it's outputting. And then let's put these blocks back. Let's grab some coal. 32 coal blocks, that'll work. We'll definitely look at getting better power once we get out of Ars Nueva. Right now, we're just going to kind of go with the primitive solution here. So we're going to do always on. And then grab our dark prismarine. So just a couple stacks of this. All right, toss that in here. And this should go quite slowly. A lot of the cyclic machines are quite slow. There's no upgrades or anything you can do with them, but we're also getting black dye out of this. Then immediately we're going to put this into the mechanical squeezer. It looks like we may struggle a little bit with power. So I think a little bit. Just a wee bit. Okay. And then, of course, once we get these, we can then throw them onto here. So it looks like we just need a handful more, not too many more. I think we only get one per this, so this should equal 12. Okay, so we need like probably two, I'd say probably one more to get it to 48. Nope, 3 more. Okay, I was wrong. That's all right. So now we have min, max, spawn count, and activation range complete. Max entities is gas tiers, I believe. So we're not going to be able to do that one. We're going to have to go hunt for some gas. Whether that be in the Nether or in the Twilight Forest. Or we could look at Nature's Aura and see if we could do it that way. But yeah, so this is max entities. And so we'll have to look at that in the future. Maybe once we have flight to go around the Nether kind of thing. But we can actually shut this off for now, because we don't need too many of these. If we need more, of course, we know where those blocks are, which is fantastic. All right, let's get that stone put away, get that put away, get that put away. Okay, but with that, we're going to wrap this one up. This has been a fantastic episode. We have a little bit of progression on Apotheosis Spawner. Next episode, we'll get the building made, get the spawn, the actual spawn killing stuff. I think we're going to do the just kind of usual mob masher. I don't think I really want to change it up too much, just so we know it'll actually be reliable and everything. We do have pedestals in here that we could look at. That mod from FTB Skies that was used quite a lot. We do have this. We could create, you know, everything automated through that. But I really just think that mod's a little too complicated for its own good. And since we have a better option, we're going to go with that, especially because we can have looting, beheading, and all of that stuff. And since these are wither skeletons, beheading is going to be very, very important. But with that, thank you guys so much for watching another fantastic episode. And also, before I end, I quickly want to mention next week will be purely Direwolf20, not all of Fabric 6 and the Direwolf20. It'll be all just Direwolf20 that week, unlike this week. I'm going to go back to that schedule of all of Fabric 6 and Direwolf20 repetitively, kind of just back and forth. But next week I will be gone, so I'm going to record a whole bunch of backlog for that week. And it's just a little bit easier to get all of Fabric 6 off the plate for now and put it back on later. So with that, thank you guys. Stay awesome. Can't wait to see you in the next one. Bye-bye.